Hi, I'm Emerson Wyatt, and the title of my project is The Effect of Circadian Rhythm Interruptions on Carcinogen Susceptibility. So, around 75% of students and workers stay up late at night in order to finish their tasks or assignments, and these habits of staying up late can actually interrupt their internal circadian rhythms. The fact that these interruptions could increase cancer risk has been proven, and that's why the goal of my project was to find the how it impacts cancer, and more specifically how it impacts tumor growth. So, a little bit of background: circadian rhythms are the physical, mental, and behavioral changes in human bodies that follow a 24-hour cycle. They make changes in your bodies by receiving information from your eyes about light and dark, about natural light like sunlight versus lamps in your home, but yeah, and cancer is a disease where healthy cells are damaged and turn into cancer cells, and they can do things like form tumors and travel around the body and spread. And finally, the subject I use this year was called a planaria. It is a type of flatworm that has stem cells called neoblasts that are perfect for this project because they can actually form their very own neoplasms when triggered to, which are the planarian equivalent of a tumor. So, the main purpose of this project was to examine how light interruptions or circadian rhythm interruptions have a short term impact on how susceptible a subject may be to carcinogens and how it could change tumor growth. So, there were three phases in order to fulfill this purpose. The first one was somewhat of a serial dilution, where I was trying to find the correct light interval to use for the rest of the project. So I used 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and 25 minutes of basically flat turning lights off and on, and the planaria were put in this flashing situation. Um, and I ended up finding that 10 minutes was the most successful. So my second phase was expanding on that 10 minutes and comparing it to a set of controls. Both had the carcinogen scrubbing bubbles applied to them, and I basically just looked at the differences and the changes in tumor growth between the two. And for my third phase, I used an antioxidant pretreatment called selenium to understand, better comprehend my results, and which factor was most heavily causing tumors and why. So to conclude, I would say that overall the data did show a correlation between circadian rhythm disruption and carcinogen susceptibility. Um, This is because in the controlled versus 10 minutes expansion, the combination of light and scrubbing bubbles had an 80% success over 3 days, where the control only had a 40% success over 5 days. And the selenium trial showed that even though the interruptions were not directly creating the tumors, they still impacted the growth. So once again, I loosely conclude that light disruptions can increase tumor growth.